I'll open this meeting of the Sheffield Selectboard. Thank CTSB for the great job that they do on our meetings. Tonight's agenda will start off with approval of the meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 18th, September 25th, and October 2nd.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Second thing, update regarding Village Green sidewalks. Is this Rhonda or Renee?
I'll start. How's that? So we put the Village Green sidewalks out to bid, thinking that we could use Complete Streets money for that. We received 2 bids back. The first was from Caracas Construction, which was low bid for $174,537. But Complete Streets now has put a halt on funding this project because they're saying that state money can't be used for private, and the sidewalks are privately owned. So we have sent in an appeal to the state asking them to please reconsider. We haven't heard anything back yet. So in the meantime, I thought the board might want to discuss whether to use alternative funding, maybe ARPA funds, to get the project complete if the state doesn't come through.
So I would make a recommendation that before we do that, because we're almost at the end of the construction season, I think we are going to hear from the state, and in our previous request to do that, we had put easements, the word easements that gave them, they should have caught that it was going to be this, and they paid for it the first time around. So I would like to suggest that we wait until November, at our meeting in November, see what comes in, and then at that point decide whether we ask for an extension so that we could do it next year. It's been my understanding on these state DOT grants that Mass DOT, they do not like to have money come back. I would like to just suggest we wait a couple more weeks and see. I'm really against using town money for private sidewalks, and we don't even have all the easements from all of the people. There's a couple that seem to have been lost, so we would have to get that done, or we would be doing just patch. We would have to leave some of it not done. So that's kind of where I'm on.
What happens to Caracas?
Can I respond to that? Yes. Yeah. So Caracas, we're holding their bid bond on this, so they need to know what our plans are, and I believe they had us on the work schedule for this year because we had it in the contract that the work had to be done before December. Okay. So waiting 2 weeks I don't believe is an option because we're outside of the 30 to 45 days that we have to award. So why don't I make some phone
calls tomorrow with the board's permission and see if I can't get somebody in Mass DOT to give us a decision. Unfortunately, the person we've been dealing with for years is out on maternity leave. But if the board would allow me to do that, I can report back to Rhonda.
That would be great. All we need is a yes or no. All we need is an answer, yes or no. And it's the same on the previous amount that we've been waiting for an answer.
Yes, that was in the letter that the board also approved, I think, at our last meeting.
Okay.
I would definitely rather use Complete Street funds, of course, than ARPA
We all would.
funds. Yes. So.
But I would like to mention that those sidewalks need to be taken care of regardless. They're
They are
a serious tripping
starting
hazard
to.
at this stage of the game, so I just wanted to point that out.
Right.
We were not going to do the guardrails. That's the building. Did I hear you right, Nadine, that you were doing guardrails?
No.
No, she was talking about the sidewalk.
I was saying that regardless of what happens with the state monies, those sidewalks are a serious tripping hazard.
Yes, and the town does not own that land. It's it is owned by the businesses.
Okay.
So anyway, hopefully we don't have a serious trip before we get this taken care of. Do we need a vote for the?
There's nothing to vote for at this point.
Okay. Then moving on, we will. Announcement of purchase and sales agreement for Hewen Street land. Would you like me to do this one?
Totally up to you.
Oh, marvelous. So we have a purchase and sales agreement signed with William Breen for the property down on Hewen Street. I think most people know where that is,
1739 Main Street.
1739. The little greenhouse that's falling in. So we purchased, I imagine we would give numbers tonight.
Sure.
Okay, we purchased it for,
We didn't purchase it. We have
Well,
an agreement to purchase.
purchased it for $225,000. It's 4 acres. It would be used for the highway garage, mainly because the other site seems to always run into a lot of issues because of its setting. We think we have all our permits and ducks in a row, and then something changes and it just keeps adding to the time and the cost. The site costs were astronomical from what we were getting back. So in the long run, this would be much cheaper. But this will have to go to special town meeting to be voted on. Bless you. And we would probably like to do that sooner than later, but no date has been chosen at this point. Anything else we need to add to it?
I don't think so. Unless you want to talk about when you might like to have a special town meeting for that.
I just really want to let everybody know that this board has been working very hard for how many years to get this highway garage, and we thought that we had a good site. But as Bob said, the site planning work that needs to be done is, you would not believe how much it is. So our highway superintendent, I believe, found this lot for us. Is that correct?
He's talked to Mr. Breen about it
And
before.
it looks like it's a very, very good lot and would meet the needs.
Correct, and we'd also get rid of a blighted house and property that needs to be cleaned up. So that's what we have. Anything you'd like to add, Nadine?
Nope.
Any questions before we move on?
Do we have any idea of special town meeting date? Are we looking sometime in November?
I would say probably early December would be
Then
more
early December. I
actual.
know once we get into the holidays, we
Yeah,
lose everybody.
it gets very
Yeah,
tough.
okay, so early December, okay.
Okay, moving on. Appointment to the Agricultural Commission.
I would like to move to appoint Amelia Conklin to the Agricultural Commission for a 3-year term.
I'll second that. Sorry,
That's okay.
I'm taking minutes and trying to participate.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion, possible action regarding funding for the electric charging stations.
I think Ron and I have been talking about this. There's a lot of money from the state that's out there. They're really trying to encourage electric charging stations. I would be willing to work on this grant. I couldn't do so until sometime in November. But I don't want to do anything without the board's permission. We would have to, if we wanted to do something, we'd have to look into the costs, and of course I would bring all that back to the board, and then we would also have to look at where would be an appropriate spot. My thinking is the library trustees might want to consider this. I think that would be probably number one in my mind. It may be a much smaller one or two over here at the town parking lot. But again, I just didn't want to do anything until the board had a chance to think about it and, give permission with provisos of knowing what would happen. But so that's just kind of that.
I think it's a great idea. Electric vehicles are definitely here, and the push is to have more of them, and we do have a shortage of, well, we have no charging stations in Sheffield, so it's less than a shortage. So if we can get some grants or financing, I'm very, very much happy to spend somebody else's money than town. Pat?
Halloween 260 Money's Main Street, since you had mentioned the library did try for a grant. The state had something, I don't know if it was through the library or what it was now in terms of the Library Commission. Very much interested in it, but somehow it just got too complicated and I think we missed a deadline for it. So it's something that the trustees have discussed. The library's very interested, and there's power out in that area, whether it's adequate, et cetera, I don't know, but we would be very supportive of that.
And then if Nadine is also in favor, then maybe the trustee, someone on the trustee would help me do some of the research.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I also want to just let you know that you can charge the car that's charging. This isn't a freebie from the town. You can charge the car that's being charged for the electricity that they're
I'll be
using.
interested in hearing all the things you find out when you explore this.
Okay.
And I'm sure it will be immense. Okay, moving on. Discussion action regarding elimination of Rest River Administrative Monetary Fund.
Do you want to talk?
So, we are coming to the end of this saga, and one of the things that the group had previously done was to take 1.5 million out of the 55 million plus and put it into a special escrow account that would go beyond the finalization of dispersing of the escrow account. Everybody seems to want to go on their own right now, so this would in effect take that $1.5 million and put it back in to the total escrow account, which is, I think right now about close to $58 million. And so this would just eliminate that set aside. So I would move that pursuant to Section 3 of the Rest of River Intergovernmental Agreement as most recently amended in 2020, the Select Board, based upon the determination of the Rest of River Municipal Committee, that the monetary reserve established thereunder for payment of all legal, consulting, or other expenses, fees, or costs incurred by the Rest of River Committee in the administration, review, and legal work related to any revised permit issued by EPA for the remedial work in the Housatonic River is no longer required for such purposes. Oh, that's an awkward sentence. And that the Select Board authorizes the distribution of that monetary reserve of 1.5 million funded from the escrow account established pursuant to a February 2022 escrow agreement in accordance with the formula established by Section 3D of the agreement as most recently amended, with 45.90904% of the monetary reserve to be distributed to each of Lennox and Lee, and 2.7273% of the monetary reserve to be distributed to each of the towns of Stockbridge, Great Barrington, and Sheffield.
Second.
Thank you. That's a long motion.
That was the longest run-on sentence I've ever seen in my life.
Thank goodness it's written.
Do we have any further discussion? Rhonda, do you have anything you want to add? Well, then I would ask for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, discussion action regarding signatory for Rest of River Escrow Fund.
So the signatory on file for us is a former employee who doesn't work here any longer, so we need to update that. I notice in most of the towns, it's either a selectman or it's the town administrator or manager. So you need to decide who you would like to sign the releases.
I'll make a motion that our town administrator be the signature authority, and should she or he not be available, that the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, whoever that may be at the time, have the authority to do so.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I would like to let the group know that that little 2.7 whatever %, I'm thinking that after all the money is settled, will be at least 1.5 million for Sheffield.
Very nice. Okay, discussion action regarding request to film on Main Street.
No.
No, you skipped
No,
one.
did I skip one? I'm sorry. Oh, I did skip one. We're back to Kelsey Road. Award the Kelsey Road Bridge replacement bid and sign the contract. Boy, jumped right over that bridge.
You did.
Culvert.
So looking at all the bids that came in, is there any reason that we are not taking the lowest bid?
No.
Okay, so if I read this correctly, the lowest bid is Sheffield Contracting Corporation at $1,150,115.
Correct.
So I would make a motion that we award the Kelsey Road over Dry Brook Bridge to them as noted.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Seeing not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now that I backed up one, now we'll go to discussion action regarding requests to film on Main Street.
Do we need a motion to authorize Bob to sign the contract on that?
It probably wouldn't hurt, you can do
So
that.
I'll make a motion that our chairman, Mr. Kilmer, sign the agreement with the contractor for the bridge replacement.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
I
so,
have to tell you, Bob, I never thought I'd live to see the day that the Real Housewives of New Jersey want to come and film in Sheffield.
I thought that was quite interesting. Do you have anything to add to this, Rhonda?
Well, you saw on the second sheet their description of what they want to do.
Yep.
It doesn't sound like any filming has taken place on town property, public
Nope.
property. It's all inside.
And just so the public has a chance to continue to enjoy the fun of this, they're going to film at Bacon Bakery. So it's a nice promotion. They'll probably be doing, it sounds like, most of it an outside shot at least, and then, you know, the housewives will go inside and do their usual thing or whatever.
Well, I'll have to admit, I've never watched the show, but I may have to watch that episode.
I really don't know if these people are going, I don't know if they're SPAG members, I don't know whether, or whatever it is, I don't know if they're breaking, you know, the picket line. That doesn't say here, but I would make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Can I just mention one thing?
Yep.
I want to make sure that all the parking, if they're bringing in extra vehicles, that it doesn't take up all the parking in the village green. So, you know, we can tell them that the parking lot is over here. It's not that.
And I
far
think
away.
it was limited vehicles from what I read, as long as it holds to
Says
the,
around 5 vehicles.
Right.
That would still take up a lot of space
They
in that
take
area.
all of them
Could,
right
yeah.
across the
Yeah,
front.
so they should park at Town Hall.
Okay.
The magic day is going to be Saturday, 10/21, from 8 to 8.
You still need to call for a vote.
This Saturday. Yep.
Whoever thought
You gonna call for a vote?
I will do.
Okay, just,
A-
I
a-
didn't
any
want you to
further
lose
dis-
track.
Any further discussion? Anything? Haven't heard about asking for any
Pieces
extras.
that just to get distracted.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the motion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Board member items. Renee?
Oh, Rhonda, are you gonna bring up the special town meeting?
No, you can go ahead
I just want to
and.
remind everyone that the special town meeting is going to be at 6 PM. There will be childcare available. And bring something with you because this has been very well organized. They're going to, since it's a secret ballot, they are going to use the voting machine. So it may take a little time. So bring your knitting or bring a book, bring something, because it's not just a hand vote, it's a secret ballot. The other thing is, I know I've been very late in getting back to the board. I just wanted to let you know that I'm picking up the CPA effort again. You gave me permission some time ago to explore that, and I hope to have something back to you in the November timeframe.
Very good.
Thank you.
The date of the meeting?
What?
She didn't mention it, but it is 10:23.
I'm sorry, it's Monday, the 23rd at 6 PM. Thank you, Nadine.
Anything else? Nadine?
I have nothing.
I would just like to ask everybody to come out and vote. This is a very important vote, and no matter whether you're for or against, it's very serious, and it is a long-term issue that will be voted on. So it'd be good to see a really good turnout. Rhonda, the town administrator, items?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. Well, then we'll go to public comment. Do we have any public comments? Bonnie?
I have your shot.
Can you ask him to sign that? That's the bridge contract.
Just sign it.
Bonnie Silvers, 15 Vallow Road. First, Nadine, I could not agree more with the sidewalks on the Village Green. I brought this up over a year ago. I've seen people tripping. I mean, whatever you guys can do, it's getting worse by the day. The first thing I really didn't want to I want to know if there's anything that can be done regarding the total denial of SBRSD getting any ARPA funds. I saw there was a motion, it was completely denied, and I'm not sure, we were told that we should do it in our regular programming. You are not allowed to use funds for this. We surveyed our communities, we got 228 responses. This is a program for 3rd through 12th graders to receive both social and emotional support with professionals coming after, as well as academic support. It's after school from 3 to 4 days a week. I'm not sure why, if there had to be an adjustment, but everything we've gone through says this is what is needed for children to recoup everything that they lost. We know we are still feeling the power of it. I don't know if you could respond here, but maybe you could tell me, one, if there's anything at all that could be done in terms of the decision, because the initiation of this program would be just what the community wants, and we can't take it out of regular money. You're not allowed to.
Okay, so then this would be on me and Nadine and I, because Renee recused herself from those grants. I was under the impression this is part of the school district, not something that is separate and different. Are you saying that this is a separate entity?
It's not a separate entity. It's one of those things that you are not allowed to use DESI funds, state funds, or anything for. It is like many of our other extra programs. It has to be done with finding other ways. We don't want to be charging families. You cannot, well, you can. The seriousness of the impact that we are still feeling for children who are suffering, families that are suffering. They can't go out and get their own tutors. And this is not a babysitting program. We have professionals that have been lined up in the field of social emotional support who already work with the district, who will be doing the counseling for students. And we have a program that will give them the academic support. We will continue the homework center, because the homework center is built into our programming. But this is different. It is desperately needed. And the fact that the community came and told us, we gave out, tell us, what you think before we apply.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that cannot come out of our regular budget. And nobody came back and said, could you run it 3 days instead of 4? We can't give you the full. This was a motion and denied the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
Bob, is there anything that can be done?
well, I think we could probably take a relook at it, even though it is passed, because and this is a new program?
A new program. It's exactly was designed because the request for proposals came out for ARPA funds. The other great thing about it is we think at least 2 other towns had said we'd be looking to, if it works, to help fund in the future. So it could initiate something that would be very collaborative among our towns in the district.
Okay. What do you think, Nadine? Do you have any?
I'm not really interested in reopening the conversation. We gave away more money than we had originally intended. And I knew it was a new program. I was totally understanding of what they were requesting. I just didn't feel that it was something we could fund with this grant money that we put out there. So it's you and and I'm not really interested in rehashing it, so
Okay.
I'm afraid for this time it's a no from me.
Well,
I would have to say that, at this point, we'll just have to pass and stick with our original decision.
okay, I obviously very disappointed,
Sure.
and the community made it very clear. So this is not something, the school committee, this was not something the administration, this is what we want. So, quite disappointed. In terms of the 23rd, I hope you can put on our website, someone can, more detail about the 23rd. I cannot tell you that this is the 16th. The lack of knowledge. Oh, so I'll just go to the senior center and vote. No, you won't go to the senior. Well, I haven't received an absentee ballot. No. So, and these are very intelligent, usually very well-informed people. So if there is any way possibly that you can put additional information to let people know, Bob, what you said is perfect, just whatever way you're voting, this is critical for the future. And as someone said, if 800 people could show up on Dollar General vote, we should have.
We would hope there would be a good turnout.
Yes.
Can we, I don't,
If you
we can
want,
put it on
I'd be
the
more than
website?
happy to just draft something for Wanda's review, that just says, here it is, you gotta be there, no absentee ballot, just, childcare available, just the basics.
Right. No early
I'll have it
voting.
for you tomorrow morning, and it can be put on the news and,
Great.
That's it.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe even do an email blast. I don't know, that's,
Yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt. I would be in favor of an email blast with
Okay,
the
good.
I'll get that done.
specifics.
Just
Yeah.
gotta figure out how to do that. See, my right-hand man's gone.
Thank you very much.
Wait a minute, don't be putting gender on there.
And do you know from among the towns, is there any type of guidance in terms, does everyone have to release their vote totals immediately? Is that how it's done? It's not like we're voting for president and have to turn in electors or something.
I don't have any idea what the other towns will be doing, but Sheffield will be releasing theirs.
That night. And the other thing is, unless it changed today, we went on the various towns' websites in order to get the warrants for all of 8 towns. Sheffield was not there on our website as of Sunday.
What wasn't there?
The warrant, all the other towns have
I
their,
thought she put it up. I'll
I
check.
thought it was up too, but I did not check.
well, I checked,
Yep.
so unless I hunted in the wrong Sheffield, Massachusetts, it wasn't there.
If you have Sheffield, England,
Yes, exactly. Thank you guys so much.
thank you. Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.